Imagine this scenario. You've just walked into a dealership, we met each other for the first time, and after some significant effort of deciphering my funny accent, you've come to the conclusion that I've offered you two deals. One is a $50,000 vehicle for $500 bi-weekly, and the other more enticing option is an $80,000 vehicle for the same payment. Stick around to find out why it is so dangerous to make a purchasing decision based on monthly payment alone. Hi there, welcome to Find My Wheels Consulting. My name is Bill, and this channel has been set up in order to help you with the car buying process. I sold Land Rovers, Jaguars and Volvos for the longest time, and I know the ins and outs of the industry, so hopefully this channel can help you with your car buying process. Now let's get back to the whole point of this video, which is to illustrate why it can sometimes be so dangerous to make a decision on a vehicle purely based on a monthly payment. A few items to note that we're going to take for granted. 1. I need a haircut. 2. Car number 1, which was the $50,000 vehicle, is actually going to be about $48,000 in order to make my numbers work, and we're going to finance that over 4 years. Car number 2, which is the $80,000 vehicle, we're going to be financing that over 8 years or 96 months, again just to prove my point, and both vehicles are brand new. So car number 1 is our $48,000 vehicle. We've decided that our term is 48 months or 4 years. Works out to 104 bi-weekly payments. Interest rate's 399. So our value is 399 divided by the 26 yearly payments. Stick that into a fancy formula, works out to $500 per payment. If we take that total of $500 by 104 payments in total, works out to $52,000. Deduct our $48,000 original MSRP from that number, and it works out to $4,000 in interest, which is 8% of the original MSRP. Now bear with me as I will get to the really juicy bit in a second, but first let's carry out the same process for car number 2. Car number 2 is our $80,000 vehicle. Our term's gone up to 96 months or 8 years, as I've said that I was looking for a $500 bi-weekly payment. And lo and behold, the dealerships can accommodate. Our rate's gone up to 699%, still divided over 26 yearly payments. Stick that into a fancy formula, and lo and behold, I still get my same $500 bi-weekly payment. The last step is exactly like before, and it demonstrates to you that you'd be paying a whopping $24,000 in interest payments, which equates to 30% of the original MSRP. Now, after about 4,000 takes and an extensive amount of editing, hopefully you're still with me as I'm about to get to the wet and juicy bit. Too many times I've found that customers that ultimately decided on a finance term that I told them was too long would ultimately get itchy feet around the 3-year mark. Well, if we use car number 1 and car number 2 as our examples, what would those numbers look like? So let's say after 3 years you've realized you deserve something better. In both cases, you'll have paid $39,000 and have made 78 payments. But what's interesting is of those payments, what percentage is purely interest? With car number 1, it'll have been about 9.5%, and over 36% of those payments were purely on interest with car number 2. Car number 1 obviously has a smaller lien as it was a cheaper vehicle. But what's really interesting is what happens now with the trade-in value. I've assumed both vehicles having about 60,000 kilometers after 3 years in order to calculate a realistic depreciation value. Car number 1 would have a trade-in value in and around the $25,000 to $28,000, which would equate to about $12,000 worth of equity. Not so good with car number 2. Its value trade-in would be anywhere between $45,000 to $50,000, which means it would be carrying negative equity of $10,000. So what are some of the key takeaways from this very long-winded video? Hopefully I've been able to demonstrate how easy it is to be able to manipulate numbers in order to hit your monthly budgetary target. All this means is that you're more than welcome to show your cards and explain what your monthly budget is, but be careful with the terms that are presented to you. It's also my opinion that if you're needing to extend a finance past 5 years or 60 months in order to hit your budget, you're probably looking at the wrong vehicle. Of course, this whole video is based on a hypothetical scenario, but God forbid you were that person that picked car number 2 because a monthly payment worked for your finances, and then 3 years into the whole finance, you're finding it's going to cost you 10 grand to get out of it and into something else. Good luck driving that car with the same enthusiasm you did at the beginning.